All right, what's going on, everybody? How we doing today? Sorry for the delay. Usually I'm up and running like within the first minute or two when the stream starts, but that was a quick 10 minutes, right? I took a second or two to try and get some stuff ironed out, and it turned into 10 minutes. So I apologize for the wait. But today we have James Downey, Jimmy from Fish Tank. All right, little show. You may have heard of it called Fish Tank, and we're gonna be doing some fun stuff today. What's going on, Jimmy? Like we didn't just already say hello a second ago, but what's going on, man? I forgot to turn on the desktop audio, but for those of you that didn't hear, he said he was drinking some cologne. So Valentine's Day was recently, and
Yes.
yeah, I don't know about you. I had a pretty okay Valentine's Day. I got some chocolates from somebody, stuff like that. Did your Valentine's Day go good?
Yeah, I wasn't bluffing about the week-long Valentine's date, and yeah, she asked me to be her boyfriend, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, it was really nice. It was a really good time, and I got to make a lot of delicious meals.
Nice. That's good. That's good, man. What delicious meals? What'd you make?
Uh, Oven roasted chicken, steaks, really well seasoned and whatnot. Like for the steaks especially, I was able to get the fat to be, you know how fat's normally really chewy and like inedible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, it was cooked well enough to where you could just eat it and it just melted like butter. And
Nice,
surprisingly even tastes good. I kind of just winged it in terms of spices.
nice. That sounds good as hell. Fuck him.
Hmm.
So today, all right. As I said, it's a Valentine's Day stream, a late Valentine's Day stream. All right. For those of you that are here watching, we're gonna be going over some green texts, okay, as well as some Reddit posts, and then we're gonna be taking calls. Now, those calls, we're hoping everything's gonna be YouTube friendly. All right, we're hoping and praying for one thing, but in addition to that, these calls are going to be for stories, specifically love stories. All right, you want to tell us about any steamy romance shit? All right, we're here for it. All right, we're here for it. Really, heartbreak, good date, bad date, whatever you want to talk about, relationship advice. All right, we're a couple of masters here. All right, me and Jimmy, we could start it. We could write a book. We could write multiple books. The amount of things that we know. All right, you want our advice? Trust me. But first things first, we are going to try something real quick. All right, we're gonna troubleshoot one thing here. All right, I just want to see if I can get this to work so that we're both gonna be on video, because I feel bad me being the only one on video while Jimmy's just chilling here. Um, if I don't find it in like 2 seconds, we are not going to. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try something real quick. Jimmy, check your Twitter. I'm gonna send you something on
All
Twitter, and we're
right.
gonna see if we can make this work real quick. Um. Uh. This is gonna be Kino, says Tom H. I sure as shit hope so, man. I sure hope so. This is the first time I've ever had anyone on stream, and
All right.
it can be tough. Did you try it out?
So what I do because I keep Twitter on my iPod, I'll like copy and paste links and send them to myself in my Facebook, then access Facebook on my desktop.
Oh yeah.
It's a really fucking confusing way to do shit, but hey, it works.
Okay. Yeah. No. No. Take your time. I'm gonna read chat streams and stuff like that. That's kind of the reason why I stream, is because I like to read the chats and talk to people in real time. Uh, Mr. Prosy says. Meanwhile, he ate a McDouble. Who ate a McDouble? You? Me? Who? Velocit Delarge says, much love to you all. Thank you, man. You too. You too. Um, the Almighty Jack says, Jimmy's girlfriend is just Jet in a wig. Is that true, Jimmy? Do you care to
No.
dispel the rumors? Do you care to comment?
No, that's not true.
That it categorically false is what he says. Did you get a haircut? Yes, I got a haircut a couple of days ago. What's going on, Slugo? Sluggo? Jeez, I don't know. I don't know how to say your name, man.
Logo?
Yeah, so somebody named Sluggo. Oh yeah, I just realized I forgot to do something as well. We're both professional streamers, ladies and gentlemen. We know exactly what to do, when to do it. We never get anything wrong, and we have everything exactly the way it needs to be right away. All right, so don't you worry. You're getting the professional streamer experience with us, which is why Jimmy is doing his thing, and I'm sitting here on my phone doing mine. Uh,
What? What am I looking at? Hang it. Hang on. Did I get into it or did it screw up again? Let me see.
User one says, ask Jimmy about his best 3 productive / uplifting moments in the tank, whether it was a lesson learned or some way he may have impacted another fish. That's a good question. What do you think your 3 best moments in the tank were, Jimmy?
Uh, so definitely, hang on. So it says, oh, I see now. Now I'm connected. Show on stream. Am I up now?
No. No.
Bruh.
That's weird.
Oh, okay, I see now. So I see what you're looking at.
You see what I'm looking
Like I
at?
said, yeah, I see what you're looking at now. Okay. And now I just go sources.
No, I saw Sylvia. That's what we're trying to get figured out right now. That's what we're troubleshooting live on stream is the advice you gave me, because that's the only way we could do it after I started the stream. Jimmy, have you played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic?
Honestly, no. That I haven't. Let me see. Hang on. Wieners. What on earth is the matter here? Why?
Did you just say wieners?
Yeah, I always say wieners.
Oh man.
Like whenever I'm mad or something. I have not played Knights of the Old Republic. Wait, is this my webcam? Is this my webcam? No.
Yeah, I haven't played Knights of the Old Republic either, but I probably should. Now that I have a PC, I mean, I've had a PC for a while. I really got to get into a bunch of different games, and I'll probably have to add that to the list. Don't worry, editing will solve this. You can't edit the autism, bro. That's kind of the problem. We don't self-edit.
No, that's wrong too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't get it figured out in a second, we'll probably just have to move on,
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I really wanted both of us on the stream. Fucking I don't if I have someone on the stream, I'd rather have them also like showing their face on the stream if that's at all possible, cuz you're a feature.
Yeah.
But, I think I got to get it figured out, on my own time, and not fuck around in the way that I did. If I had thought of this, I would have tried to get it figured out earlier, but I didn't. So my bad on that.
Yeah. Oh well. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's my bad, not yours. Okay, so we're gonna start looking at green texts. All right, these are all gonna be relationship-based green texts. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share them in the chat of my Discord server, and speaking of which, I'm also going to throw the link for the Discord server in the YouTube chat. So here. if you want to call in a little bit, go ahead and jump in the Discord and wait. And if you jump in the waiting room, okay, put a 1 in the chat. That way I know the order you ended up jumping in, okay? Now, with that said, we're gonna get the first picture up. And to start off, I will go ahead and throw it in the Discord. That way everybody can see it there. Then I will
Uh, Honestly, he just needs to chill out and just go to a different environment. Like that's what I learned in life. Because my hometown, when all the snobs moved in, they all like still to this day, a lot of them will look at me and get spooked while I'm just chilling. Uh, he just needs to just move to a different part of the country. Uh, he'll probably there's plenty of places that he will most likely be seen as attractive by the local women of that area.
Oh man, dude, it really muted for some reason, huh? That's weird. My bad on that. So, could you guys hear Jimmy? I hope you guys could hear Jimmy. You guys should be able to hear Jimmy. Basically, I agree for the most part, Jimmy. All right, I agree with what you said about moving on to a different location and things like that, getting out of there. I think what he really needs to do is I think he needs to just look for places that he thinks it's going to be okay. One thing I didn't see in there is I didn't see him talking about transitional spaces or anything like that, meaning like hallways or anything like that, sidewalks. What he could do is he could, if he lives in an apartment building, I think he could probably like wait outside of his apartment, maybe in the hallways or something like that. And if he sees a woman like walking through the halls, he could start trying to like strike up conversation, maybe walk with her. And he could end up, just laying down the moves as best he could while she walks back to her apartment. And the best part is, where she lives too, so you can go there, you can knock on the door at any given time, and you could leave her gifts and notes. You could slide notes underneath the door. I think another good place for that would also be sidewalks and things like that. You could hang out in alleyways and wait for them to walk by, and you could just kind of slip out of the alleyway and be like, "Hey, what's going on? How are you? Is it okay if I walk with you? You want to come into the alley with me? You come into the alley with me, and we could talk. Shoot the shit a little bit. What do you think about that? You think that's a good idea?"
Uh, yeah, no, certainly not in real life practice. I will say I have had luck with hanging out in abandoned buildings and meeting cute women, but normally I spook them off still. I like to hang out in abandoned places. Uh, we'll get into that on a later date. That being said, if you're not pretty enough to really be striking up a conversation and following a woman back to her apartment, 9 times out of 10, she's going to call the cops on you. Maybe just go outside and just chill on your stoop if you live in a city and just read a book and just say, "Hey, how are you?" And then just keep doing that. And like in a few weeks, eventually a conversation will be struck up. And then if that convo goes well, then yeah, just keep at it. I don't know. I'm only good at playing the long game. I don't know how to play the short game.
Well, I'm just curious what kind of women you meet in an abandoned building, and how do you meet them? Did they just like did they
Uh,
did they just break in and you're there, or do you break in and they're there?
it's more like I'll just sneak in to go take photos and collect cool artifacts and stuff like that. Uh, then they'll just show up. Sometimes it's posers. Sometimes it's gothic women. However, I have a deep voice. I know how to stay hidden. And yeah, normally I'll also be like really scared because I'll be like, "Oh shit, it's the cops. We're gonna get a trespassing charge." And then it's like oh, it's not the cops, and then I'll speak, and then they'll get spooked and run away or throw something at me, which I can't really blame them for, because I'm kind of the same way. If like I hear shit in like abandoned buildings and whatnot while I'm exploring them, like I get spooked. But yeah, you just meet all kinds of women. Uh, and yeah,
You see, you said you know how to stay hidden. I think what you need to do is you need to not be hidden. You need to just be standing there as soon as they walk through the door, just watching them. Either that, or if they get through before you realize, just emerge from the shadows or something like that. I think especially the gothic women, I'm sure they'd love the hell out of that. You just emerge from the shadows, like hello.
fair point. Fair point.
That is true. All right, we'll go ahead. We'll pull up the next one. Um, and
Oh
sorry,
yeah, real quick to answer. Oh,
no, no, go ahead, go
go
ahead.
ahead. So to answer that one fan's quick question, three moments where I feel like I learned the most. When I figured out that everyone was a fan and I went Columbo mode, I really put myself to the test with reading facial expressions, and I was surprised to see that I was successful. Obviously, again, like I couldn't read Cole's facial expression, but he was playing a really funny game, especially looking back. Uh, Certainly like the really intense workouts and whatnot. Like I was proud of myself for still being able to get back in shape and like still being able to give it my all. Uh, and I guess honestly, just toughening it out in challenges for the most part. Like not really complaining or whatnot. Uh, in the sense where some of the other fish, no offense to them, but like they may have been a bit geeked, and it's, but not so much me. It would be like just staying tough, well, as tough as you can be in some of those challenges. I will admit, when I unleashed Onier in the cell, I was spooked after he started rubbing chilies all over the place, and after he said he rubbed chilies on the toilet seat. I was very spooked. I did not intend for that to happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dunye is from that part of the country where they do that voodoo shit. That was probably some like fucking plate in the nose shit. You know, that fucking got a voodoo doll with your haircut on it, and he's putting pins in it, and you're feeling like weird sensations on your side.
he circumcises the voodoo doll, and you wake up with no foreskin. Hate it when that happens.
You you wake up, you lift the covers up, you're like, where'd it fucking go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy shit, where is it? You start overturning your mattress. You're that distraught. You're like, maybe I misplaced it. Maybe it's oh fuck, where could it be, dude? Fuck shit.
Imagine having waking up and your face has just been turned upside down because someone made a voodoo doll out of you and decided to do that just to fuck with you. Not even torture you. You just like that one kid from Family Guy. You just actually have an upside down face.
Yeah, he does it doesn't
I'd be
even
fucking
hurt.
annoyed.
It doesn't even hurt. Everything's just weird.
You know, it'd be fucked. Anytime it would rain, you would drown or risk drowning through your nose because,
Oh
yeah,
fuck,
an
you're right.
upside down nose in the rain, like you're dead, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's
You have to
that,
you
that
have to become a mouth breather and like plug your nose at all times.
I was gonna say that's like constant waterboard torture. Have you ever been waterboarded, Jimmy?
Uh, no, but I have been through an intense training regimen. It's actually a funny story. I think you'd like it. That was I would say akin to waterboarding.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so freshman year, I joined the football team in high school,
Mm.
and a close childhood friend of mine named we'll call him W. Uh, so he was like this really fucking strong lineman, and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, W, teach Jimmy here how to get stronger and be good in football." Now W had no fucking clue how to do that, but he just rolled with it and decided to just really fucking torture me. So I actually still have the dumbbells. I left them here and there, but he took these two like vintage 30-pound dumbbells, threw them into the deep end of my pool, and had me dive down to go get him and bring him back to the shallow end. And after I did that a few times, it just got to the point where he would jump in just to beat the shit out of me as I'm holding two 30-pound dumbbells and jumping up from the floor of the pool to get oxygen. That was a really intense workout. Uh, I definitely inhaled some water during it.
But, that doesn't sound like any football training I've heard. I don't know. I think
It
W
was
might
it
have.
was not football training by shit you not. That shit got me light years stronger. After that, I actually managed to best stronger lineman who had he'd been playing for like a few years. It was like my first year, so I was kind of shit.
Oh,
That and the
jeez.
coach although I did prove myself in the final game because the head coach who didn't like me, as I guess he thought it'd be like a cruel trick or something, but like he put me in the lineman's position to replace my friend W. And mind you, W was always having three guys on him at once. This was just for like the last two plays of the final game. But I did my best, and I did the trick where you just kind of dive on the ground and kind of hook their legs so they all fall on top of you. I made sure that we didn't fumble and lose the football.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's that. It definitely fucking trained me.
Damn, that's pretty crazy, man. All right, we're gonna move on to the
Yeah.
next green text here. All right, so GF has nightly mental breakdowns and panic attacks. Every time one happens, she spams. Oh wait, I forgot to share this in the. Sorry, that's my bad. I forgot to share this
You're
in the
fine.
Discord. That way you can actually read along. One moment. Again, my bad. All right, here we go. Now here we go. GF has nightly mental breakdowns and panic attacks. Every time one happens, she spams my phone and I have to comfort her or something. Very stressful and tiring. A few days ago, I told her I'm going to start going to bed at 8 p.m. each night to fix my sleep schedule. Actually, go to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. Ignore all of her messages after 8 p.m. Now, every night, I have a nice, relaxing Kino session where I watch movies and play video by myself. She'll be fine. Anyways, tell me interesting relationship stories you have. I want to hear them. Is that a good tactic, Jimmy? Do you think this guy is built to last in terms of this relationship?
Okay, so I do know that I've actually fucking met people like this in real life. There are a lot of people that will pretend to be super upset, especially online and shit like that and through text. And it's quite literally just a case of them fishing for attention. And like, yeah, honestly, like that's the only thing you can do is ignore them. Because I feel like this is likely a case of that because I feel like he wouldn't just ignore his girlfriend if she was the type where during her panic sessions, like shit would actually go fucking south. And like there would be like a risk of her hurting herself or actually like ruining her fucking life or something, you know? So I do feel like he's been with her long enough and probably realized, okay, so she just really, really likes it when I give her attention, so she kind of pretends to be a bit more upset, so that way I baby her and stuff like that. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I think when you treat people like that like children, right? The way a child is, if you want them to change a behavior and you can't beat the hell out of them, you basically just have to ignore them when they're trying that attention-seeking behavior. And eventually, someone will sit there and they'll be like, "Oh, this is not how I get my way. This is not how I get attention from this person," and they'll knock it off.
Yeah. And it'll be like a subconscious thing too. Like they won't even really realize it. It's just like, a few weeks of just kind of ignoring them when they get that way. Especially if it's like a really repetitive habit, they'll like kind of change their tune. Or I mean, on top, or at least the way I do is like I'm just blunt, where it's like, hey, look, yeah, like not to be rude, but this is like really fucking exhausting me, bro. Like you can't be blowing up my phone about like petty shit when we both know like there's really nothing going on. You just want my attention, which I don't mind giving, but I don't know. There's like a more mature way to get my attention, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead. Oh, wait a second. Huh, that's weird. Oh no, it did post. It did. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. At the very least, we'll get through the green texts, and then depending on how those go, we can move on to a couple of the Reddit ones. And then if you want, we can take some calls if you're cool with that. If you feel like talking to people.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm down.
Okay. Um all right. So, be me, date girl for 3 years, open relationship, no fucking friends, no unprotected sex, obvious stuff. I guess that's obvious. Badgers me endlessly about fucking a mutual friend. Just let me do it. Yeah, just let me do it once. So, fuck, I can't read. Just let me do it once to kill the tension. Tell her she can do whatever she wants, but I would hope she wants to not ruin our relationship and hurt me. She proceeds to fuck him for an entire week unprotected. Break up a week later. Can't deal with how she disregarded my feelings. She really went from when are you gonna propose to drunkenly calling me another man's name. Still get random waves of depression. Songs with lines about infidelity throw me out of it. Had a panic attack watching the second season of White Lotus. Does it end, B? I've met plenty of people since then, but still feel like a a stupid cuck. Anyone else have a bitch fuck them up like this? Well, Jimmy, is it over
He's
for
a
him?
fucking dumb. He's a fucking dumbass to be in like a fucking open relationship to begin with. That's always like some fantasy. It's like the fucking the harem fantasy or whatnot, where it's like it's a nice idea at best in theory, but it's never fucking good in practice. Uh, because it's just human emotions get involved, and it's just natural for I don't know, like people to just hook up together in like a single monogamous relationship. On top of just, I've never seen a single open relationship where shit was chill and just not full of drama 24/7. Like all those people you see online bragging about, like, oh yeah, I'm in a polyamorous relationship or what fucking ever, whatever fucking fancy words they want to use. None of them are ever happy. Like, none of them are ever happy. They're always like super fucking miserable and just just absolutely insufferable people. Just on a personality basis, like I really don't care what people do sex wise behind closed doors, as long as it's like between two adults. Obviously, if you make that shit public, I'm gonna fucking roast you if it's some degenerate shit. But yeah, the guy was a dumbass for being in an open relationship to begin with. This is really on him. You should have fucking realized this was most likely gonna happen, like either between him and another woman, or his girl and another man, or what fucking ever.
Oh yeah. Um, there's never a reason for anyone to be in an open relationship, but especially not a man, because uh, open relationships don't benefit men. Uh, women can walk around and just like ask dudes like, "Hey, do you want to fuck?" And most dudes will be like, "Yeah, sure." Even a woman who's like not like overly attractive. A girl that's like, girl next door. She's not ugly, but she's also not the hottest girl you've ever seen types. Like, it's so easy for them to get male attention that there's no way an open relationship could not benefit them in terms of getting that kind of attention. But men do not have the same thing going on for themselves. Most men, anyway, don't have that ability to walk around and be like, "Hey, can I get your number?" And most women are like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, totally." Even if you are, it doesn't mean that you should be a part of something like that. But um, it's just not gonna work out. I've never, for one thing, I've very rarely ever heard a man ask for an open relationship. Whenever I hear about these things, it's always a girl. And then on top of that, when there is one of these types of situations, it's not like the guy typically ever even finds anyone to fuck. It's always like, oh, hey, we should open the relationship. The guy's like, well, okay, I guess. And then the girl just goes buck wild, you know? She probably had that idea in her head from the get go. Like, oh, hey, like, I want to fuck our mutual friend, but I'm in this relationship with this guy. Um, maybe I can just ask him for an open relationship and, I can get with a couple of dudes, but then I can especially try to get with that mutual friend. It's not something women go into with a good state of mind, I guess. Meaning like it's all innocent and they think it's totally okay and they just want to do things the right way or the fair way and things like that. There's always some kind of underlying darkness to it that I've seen from the women in the relationships, and they use manipulation and coercion, and they also use like the hubris of men to get to get the situation, and it's just like fucked up. Like I've been joking around a lot. I forgot this was even in here. Like I want to get serious for that, because it's like open relationships are just never a good thing.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. I will also say, like, for example, fucking look at Destiny, right? So it's like there's also a lot of dudes who just think with their fucking dicks and get this fucking delusion that they're gonna have this fucking beautiful harem like out of some anime shit, right? Like for real, like some fucking anime shit or some fucking hentai shit type harem deal, and it's like reality of it is like it's a lot harder for a man to court a woman than it is for a woman to court a man. Like
Mm.
obviously, like there are some dudes with standards who will be like, why is this strange woman grabbing my penis and demanding sex right now? But there's also a lot of dudes where it's like, oh yo, you grabbed my dick and literally said, let's go fuck. Okay, cool. Right? Like,
Well,
but yeah, like I said, there's also like I've met plenty of dudes where like they have this fucking hubris, like, oh yeah, I can do an open relationship and like I'll fucking develop this harem or some shit like that. And then it always blows up in their face. But yeah.
yeah, that's one of the thing I never liked about the PUAs, and then what they kind of morphed into, which is like the Andrew Tate type guys, where they have this belief that like nothing bad will ever happen to you if you're an alpha, and it's like no, no, things are more likely to happen to you because there's a lot of women out there who will gun for you in that way because they have darkness in their hearts and they want to take you down a peg, there's so many examples of like the PUA types, and like I said, they morphed into the modern day top G Matrix red pill type dudes. There's so many examples of them just sitting there like, bro, she won't cheat on you if you're an alpha, and it's like, yeah. Do you know how many millionaires? Do you know how many athletes? Do you know how many everyone gets cheated on all the time? What makes you special? You read a fucking book and now you wear sunglasses inside. You wear three
Yeah.
piece suits and you wear sunglasses inside, and because of that, you're never gonna get mistreated by a woman. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. You're right, bud. You're right.
Yeah, honestly, just drives me nuts because it's like, really, just for anyone in general, it's like you always just have to be very strict, especially when it comes to like cheating, where it's like, once a cheater, always a cheater. And like, now, mind you, I personally take things really, really slowly, right? Like, I was not expecting to get a girlfriend out of this Valentine's Day date. Uh, I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but yeah, she asked me to be her boyfriend. And it was like a case of, well, you literally flew yourself out here to spend a week with me for Valentine's Day. What am I, fucking gay? And we get along really well. And I'm not a heartbreaker, so it's like, I bet, yeah, of course, I'll be like, so yeah, like I accept it. It's like, yeah, just gonna give it like an honest shot. But where the fuck was I even going with this? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. uh,
That's all good.
now I remember. Uh, but yeah, it's just if you don't want to get hurt by a woman or just want to make sure she's not a cheater, just really take your time and just really get to know her. Uh, ask her shit. Like it doesn't have to be anything too personal, but like just try to figure out what her language is if you want to just like shoot the shit. Just talk about life in general and just take notes of like what she brings up, like words that she uses, shit like that. Like I can personally think of like a couple of red flags off the top of my head. Although they're all from fish tanks, so I'd rather plead the fifth for now. Let me think.
I think one of them is if she asks for an open relationship. I think that's a pretty big red flag.
Oh, no doubt. And just always talking about like all the fucking new age fucking sex ideas which that you see these days, and it's just like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? None of y'all are happy. Why the fuck are you even pushing it? It's not even making you happy.
Yeah, I'm into knife play. I'm depressed. I'm into
Oh
knife play.
God. Oh Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. This is the last. This is the last green text that I ended up grabbing. Um. Here we go. All right. I believe this is from a Feminon as well. Be me 20. Finally get into healthy relationship. He's an absolute green flag in every way possible. He thinks things I would say before I even say them. We talk for hours and can't even send memes to each other sometimes because our recommended feeds are the same. Wonder why he's suddenly become distant. Do everything I can to fix things. Give him homemade gifts. Give him more space since I felt like I was annoying him. He cheated for 2 weeks, sexting a girl in another country, received nudes and exchanged provocative messages. He never loved her, he says. Says she was never worth it. Forgive him, involving me seeing him cry for the first time and beg me to help him change. I'm so confused on my emotions, B. How do I know I can trust him? He's the first person I've ever trusted this much in my life. I'm so terrified of losing him because of how important he is to me. I don't know if I can fix him or if he's telling me the truth and wanting to be fixed. Now, I think the most important question here is what she did to deserve getting cheated on. What do you think it was, Jimmy?
Nothing there. I look like I am friends with the dude. He's one of my he's definitely one of the closest friends I ever made when I went to college, but for the fucking life of him, like he can't or at least for his previous girlfriend, but like he could not stop cheating on her. Like he was kind of like a sex addict. There are just some dudes, just like there are some women where it's like they're just perpetually horny. And like, yeah, they just really like the idea of just, getting more bodies or just being able to kind of fuck and flirt with whoever they want.
They're nymphos.
But yeah, yeah, like, well, not even nymphos, but just horny bastards in general. Because nymphos can be loyal, but horny bastards, that's a different story.
I dated a
Uh,
nympho once.
did it end well? Well, wait, what am I saying? You dated one once, so I'm taking it, it ended badly.
Yeah, yeah. It was fucking terrible.
Oh,
You know, the
Jesus,
the
yeah, well,
the thing is like if you're a nympho, it's kind of like you're addicted to sex in a way. Um and the thing is like with any addiction, if you give in to the behaviors that would lead to you using, you're going to end up using, and even if you don't use, you're going to be tempted to. And her thing was she would go to bars and clubs and things like that. And that's where she would meet guys. In addition to that, she'd also meet them on Tinder and stuff like that. And I tried to date her. I tried to make a hoe into a housewife, like a fucking idiot. And she wouldn't stop going to bars and clubs and things like that. And then also social media was a problem for her as well. So even if she didn't see other guys when she was with me, which I don't even 1,000% believe, there's no way in hell she wasn't constantly flirting with other guys and like setting up the next one for when she and I broke up. because that's what a lot of
I
women
got
do.
you.
They monkey
Yeah.
branch.
I would say basic bitches definitely do that. Like basic bitches, like look, if you go to the middle of bumfuck nowhere in this country, right? Like you'll meet like some real women, you'll meet like actual fucking interesting characters, right? But like basic bitches, yeah, nah, I fucking feel that. Like a lot of them do that shit. Uh, I will say though, so if it makes sense, right? One of like the best, I guess girlfriends or wives you can get if you're a dude, uh, would actually be one who is a nympho, but exclusively for you. Like her addiction is you yourself,
She's addicted to the
and it's
dick.
well, yeah, and but it's like it's just your dick, like no one else's, you know. So it's like when it's in that case, like that's actually really beneficial. Obviously, of course, the ball is then in your court where it's like, do not fuck up and do not take them for granted. Obviously, don't be like a fucking kiss ass or nothing. Like, I'm not saying like fucking waste all of your money or go to like extremes just nonstop, but certainly like make sure that you on your end like don't fuck up and like put in your fair share of like effort and like trust and whatnot.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I get what you're saying. Basically, find a woman that loves you, is what you're
Yep.
saying. You know.
But obviously, love can take different forms. I'm just saying that in terms of sex wise, a nymphomaniac is not necessarily a bad thing for a relationship. It comes down to whether or not the sex addition is focused solely on you, right? Like that's what I'm saying. Because you know, like there are like some couples where they have a lot of fucking sex together and only with each other, but then there are also a lot of couples where they're still just as much in love as the other ones, but they don't really fuck that much.
I see what
Uh,
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
I
different strokes for different folks.
yeah, yeah. I just think it's funny that this dude got caught and then he hit her with like a fuckboy move. He was like, "Oh, I never loved her. Yeah, I sent nudes to her, but I love you." That's like when we were in high school, we used to think that was
Yeah,
slick. If like somebody got caught cheating, they'd be like, "Look, I fucked her, but I love you." And it's like, "Oh, holy shit, he really hit her with that shit." She's 20 years old and apparently this is her first love. I remember my first love. Fucking I remember how much of a fucking dumbass she was and how much of a dumbass I was for that matter. Fucking she should probably move on from this guy and then like just live her life for a bit. And I don't mean hoe around either, because that's what people tend to
yeah.
mean when they're like, "Oh, I need to live my life." It's like, no, no, no. You
Just
need
like
a
explore the world,
yeah, yeah,
like focus on yourself, like get yourself better employment, shit like that. But also just kind of like, I don't know, especially with the internet, what I've always do is like I'll just comment on something being like, so yeah, what's it like in like this state or this town? And that's how I'll get like the gist of where certain areas are like from the locals that live there. If they just so happen to respond. That's how I've kind of actually formed my knowledge that if you're struggling to find any sort of romantic partner in like whatever town or city or even state you're in, all you have to do is just kind of research uh, and find what state, city, area like you would fit in, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. All right, so we'll go ahead. We'll move on to a Reddit post or two. I just gotta do my thing
But
with
I will
that.
be right back. I just gotta use the restroom real quick.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I'll wait here until you are ready to go. Yes, that is it. I think the best advice for girls and life in general is just to J J J J J J J J J J J J J. Yes, that you cannot go wrong with that. I have a friend who hit a girl with that move, and now everyone in the friend group doesn't respect him and only addresses him as Dirty Dog. I, I mean, look, I'm not telling you to ditch your buddy or anything like that, but if he's still your friend and all you do is just call him Dirty Dog, that sounds like you guys are just kind of messing with him in the way the friends do, you know? That's like a buddy of mine had a friend he used to call Dark Star. I will always remember this because they saw his butthole once, so they started calling him Dark Star. Like that's almost what it sounds like. Is it's a Dark Star kind of nickname. I wouldn't mind being called Dirty Dog, right? That's not the worst. That's not the worst name I could be called. Definitely not. Um, if I want a
I'm
20-year
back.
old, oh, all right. So we're on to the next one.
What the fuck am I reading?
Oh, uh oh.
Jesus.
I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one.
I'm feeling.
All right, you boy. All right. R/incest confessions. Need quick advice. Mom/son. I am feeling attracted to my stepson from about a year now. I'm in my late 30s and son is about 20. I made a post here a few months ago about my attraction. Most of you said I should approach him, and I did. We did some basic stuff like kissing, but then he stopped and told me there's this girl in college he wants to pursue and do not want any distractions. Yesterday he told me that girl rejected him. Should I approach him again or would say that I was waiting for him to be rejected? Have to take actions fast. What do, Jimmy? What do?
Eugenics. Take him out of the gene pool.
Right out of the gene pool, just kick him right
Right
out
out of the gene
immediately.
pool. Just we are taking these two right out of the gene pool.
I
You
don't, I don't
cannot
know,
be allowed
man.
to reproduce.
I happen to think love is love, Jimmy. Okay, I happen to think love is love, no matter what.
I happen to take the old Yeller approach to such things. You just got to be taken out. You're sick.
Like
You don't
I,
know you're sick, but you're sick.
I support the ILGBTQIA, the incest, lesbian, gay, transgender, whatever. I support it.
Well, not gonna be
I,
supporting it for much
I.
longer because I'm gonna be bringing Penhurst back, baby. Better
Oh
fucking
man,
believe it.
I'm
Like my
gonna.
live streams, I've been studying a 1933 book called Eugenics and Sex Harmony. You know what one question it poses in this book is?
What
And I'm
question?
not lying when I say this. Are women human?
Oh
That's a
man.
fucking actual question that the author asks in the book. Guy's such a fucking nut. But
Well,
yeah, I'm bringing Penhurst back, so
well. I mean,
we're
how
not
how
gonna
are you,
have
how
any
are you
more of
gonna
this incest.
how are you gonna find out if they are if you don't ask the question though? I think it's a good question to ask. We need to find out
Oh,
once and for all, don't we?
yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess if
Exactly.
you meet a woman, right, and you really have strong feelings for her, you need to ask her if she's human.
That
Now, I
is true.
personally, I personally, personally, if the Irish are true and elves exist, or what is it that the Irish believe in? Fairies or some shit?
The
It turned out
Irish
she was
the Irish
no,
believe
go.
all problems are solved with Guinness.
That that is a good point, but essentially, I think they have like this old fucking flag in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, where it's like a fairy flag,
They
and the
have
old legend that goes with it, it's like an Irish king was kidnapped by fairies or something, and like when he returned with like that flag.
It's potentially the harp of Erin.
Yeah, something like that. I guess bottom line is like if the woman turned out to be a mystical creature, that wouldn't necessarily be out of the question, as long as it was like I don't know, something like an elf or a fairy, some shit like that, like some humanoid race.
Like a what if it's like humanoid squirrels? What if they're like
Nope,
fauna? You know?
a fucking humanoid flower.
Yeah.
I'm fucking euthanizing them. I've seen Goosebumps. Have you seen Stay Out of the Basement? What do they do to the
Ah,
dad that's like half flower, half person? They fucking kill him.
damn, they did.
Gotta kill him at that point. Yeah.
Damn. I've read a couple of Goosebumps books, but I never read that one, so I didn't know
I,
about that
I
one.
honestly the '90s show is really good. That's what I grew up with.
Oh yeah.
Uh Obviously like on VHS and shit like that, but yeah, Stay Out of the Basement's a good one.
I was
Uh
thinking about that the other day, except it was the episode with I think they're vampires. They move into a new neighborhood and they turn out to be vampires or some shit like that. I don't know why it ran in my head the other day. I was like, man, I gotta watch that
Oh
shit
wait,
again.
is it the one where it's like Welcome to Dead House and it's like everyone's a zombie but they die in the sunlight?
Yeah, I
Like
think that's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one spooked me as a kid, but I don't know, as a kid I think it was because I had like a crush on one of the vampire chicks. This is like when I was
Oh,
like 5 or 6 or something. So, I think it's because I had a crush on one of the vampire chicks and then they all died and I was like really fucked up about that for a bit. So I think that's why it scared me.
damn, your
Because
first
it's
ever
like, oh
heartbreak.
no. Uh yeah, now that I think about, well, does that count as a heartbreak when like, you know, kids go through that, especially like little dudes, where it's like, oh yeah, there's this fucking character that I think is pretty on like this show or movie, and then it's like they fucking get killed, and it's like, what the fuck?
I'm I don't know. I mean,
It's just silly to think
I,
about. Sorry.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a if I would call that heartbreak, but I feel like it's probably got something that contributes towards your development. You know, because I can remember having crushes on girls in TV shows and shit like that. I had a crush on Rosalina from Naked Brothers Band, which surprisingly, even though it was made by a Hollywood studio, is not what it sounds like. Um,
No, no, that came out when I was like in fourth grade. How old are you again?
I'm 29.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit. Yeah, you ain't that much older than me. Now I see.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, so sorry, man. This whole time I thought you were like mid 30s or some shit.
yeah.
Fuck.
Everybody fucking thinks
Oh,
that. Ever since I've been like 19,
shit.
20, people have been like, "Dude, you're like fucking 30 now. You're like 30 years
No,
old, right?"
believe me, I completely understand that pain. Been in the same boat, but yeah. So, uh, then you'll, then yeah, I grew up with the Naked Brothers band. I was never a fan of the show. I never watched it. Me and my friends just fucking laughed because I don't know. We would just make fun of it all the time because we thought it was like kind of gay.
Yeah,
Uh,
it really was like not a good show. But again, I had a crush on the bassist chick. I remember, so I was like, all right, I'll watch it because you know I like the half Korean I like the half Korean chick, the Hafu chick, the 12-year-old Hafu chick. I'm like 10 years old. I can't even pop a boner yet, and I'm just like, man, dude.
so do you remember that one show on Cartoon Network, Out of Jimmy's Head, and it started off with like it was like this live action slash cartoon movie, right? And like in
Well,
the movie,
I
go
do know
ahead.
what you're talking about. Just I want to get to the super chat real quick. One sec.
Oh yeah, go
Wilthos,
ahead.
thank you for the 4.99, man. I appreciate the hell out of that. I wanted to get Jimmy on camera. We actually spent the first like 10 or so minutes trying to get him on camera, but it just didn't work out. So next time he's on, or if I go on to his channel or something like that, whenever we're together again, we'll make sure that we're both on camera. It really sucks, I know, but it just didn't work out. But getting back to what you were saying, I do remember that. It was the kid gets hit by like a train at like knockoff Disney World,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
basically is schizophrenic now, but he sees cartoon characters.
Yep. So in the movie that they made before they made the show, it just aired on Cartoon Network. It was never in theaters.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Asian girl in the movie, because I didn't fucking like the show. I was really pissed off at the show because it's like they replaced like the Asian friend and the Asian friend's sister with like these two black characters, and it's like, bro, what? This ain't like the movie at all. The movie just came out like fucking 2 months ago. What the fuck is this shit? But I had a crush on like the Asian girl in that movie, and I don't know. I was like, again, I'd say probably also around 10. God, when that movie come out,
Was her name like
like,
Ria Lando or something like that?
I mean, I don't know. I was just a kid, and I would just remember like seeing the movie, and it's like, wow, that Asian girl's really pretty. She's really cute.
I'm
Me and my friends. Go ahead.
I'm looking for a picture of her right now.
I will say, me and my friends, back when Magoozy, if you remember on Cartoon Network, Magoozy, like that cartoon block that would air right after school ended, around like 4-ish. Uh, Me and my friends would have fist fights over which Totally Spies character would be our girlfriend.
Oh man, totally Spies. Holy shit, I forgot about that one. Damn, totally Spies. That was like people talk about it all the time now. Fucking but it was like I guess it was like poorly disguised fetish shit by some like French weirdos.
So, I can see that, but also at the same time, uh, as the saying goes, before the internet, if someone wanted to fuck a toaster, they would just be called a fucking retard, and they'd grow out of their desire to fuck a toaster. But with the internet, the said toaster fucker would find a toaster fucking support group who shared their fetish, and it would just get worse from there. Uh, so I mean, shit, some of it was like just innocent enough because like it's a fucking kids show, and to be fair, especially at the time, I wasn't really using the internet that much when that shit was airing, but you know, DeviantArt, the whole 9 yards, all these fucking weird, fucking degenerate porn fetishes that you see people bragging about publicly on the internet. Like they weren't really a thing when the show aired. I think it's just that's just more so something that people notice that's more so a funny coincidence. Or at least that's what I'd like to think.
Oh yeah.
Certainly, if it was some degenerate French shit, like we've seen with cuties, they could have gone a lot worse. They could have made it a lot worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
They
the
they don't
French
want
definitely need to be circumcised for that.
they don't want to admit it, you know, but sex is partially a learned thing, you know. There's a point when you're a child where if you have any form of sexual experience, whether you like see it happening or if it happens to you, it will be basically permanently seared into your brain. A neural pathway is created, and you now think that this is what sex is, and this is why a lot of child abusers were also abused themselves, is because they were abused in that window, and they now believe that that is what sex is, you know. And I think that also occurs with fetishes and things like that. And then on top of that, it's also been shown, like me, like I don't think porn is a good thing. I'm not one of those people who like crusades against it in like a major way. I just think you
Hmm.
should avoid it, right? I try to avoid it
Yeah,
to the best of my ability, but it is shown that like if you really get into porn in a serious way, um, you know, eventually the regular stuff stops kind of working on you, and you're like, oh, dude, like I kind of want something more exciting. Why don't I say go on this fetish site where they beat women with tire irons? You know, you get some weird shit like
yeah,
that, and you know, it's like you said, you know, before people didn't have any support groups and things like that. Now everybody's got their support groups. And because of that, we're sitting here dealing with weirdos who are like, "Hey, I'm into blood play scat fetish."
yeah. No, but it's not even that. But so think back to like when we were kids and like the early internet, like early 2000s. The main reason that this shit wasn't a fucking problem is because we were allowed to just curse out people that had genuinely fucking degenerate fetishes and gross shit. Like you know, like you see people like on social media all the fucking time, like they'll openly admit to being into fucking having a piss fetish or a scat fetish. And it's like if you fucking roast them as one should and does when someone's fucking publicly admitting it to doing that shit. Because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't have to make the shit public. What the fuck did you expect to happen? Like, this is disgusting. But yeah, like, when sites started banning people for just roasting people who were into that gross shit, that's when it became really prevalent. I've noticed, right?
Hmm.
Because I mean, wind back the clock to like I don't know, like 2006, 2008, hell, even 2010, 2011. Like you, like if you saw someone with a Facebook profile just openly admitting into like having a piss fetish, or you know, like a Twitter profile or YouTube or whatever, like you could just openly fucking just roast them and call them every name in the book, as you should, being like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? But now those people are fucking protected, so they kind of spread and get really, really cocky and arrogant and
Hmm.
just really start spreading that gross shit around. Ugh.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I found one more green text. I figured we could take a look at this green text, and then if you want, we can take calls. We got one person in the waiting room right now. We'll go ahead and we'll get to that person, and hopefully more people will call in. For those of you that would like to call in and talk about relationship stuff, whether it's a story that you have, whether it's a question you have, maybe there's some kind of quandary, you can go ahead, you can jump in the Discord server, okay? You're going to jump in the waiting room, and when you get in the waiting room, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put a 1 in the chat. That way I know what order to go in when pulling new people in. So yeah, go ahead and do that if you're interested, okay? With that said, all right, we got the last green text here. So, do I stay? Start dating guy 3 weeks ago. He lives with his ex GF in her house, which she owns, and won't move out due to being unemployed. During date 1, she calls obsessively. During date 2, she calls and texts a lot. During date 3, she texts him telling him he's dead to her and she's going to burn his possessions. Every time we hang out, she texts and calls him. I stayed in her house on the second date while she's away without her knowing and felt bad. She threatens to commit Sudoku regularly. She also threatens to commit. He also threatens to commit Sudoku. Uh, he will literally not move out of her home or get a job. I asked him to block her and stop being her friend. I'm moving to another country in a month, and he plans to visit me and do distance. Don't mind that I will have to pay for his flights. Keep begging him to leave her, move out of her home, and block her. X is literally better than me in every way looks, education, career. She is often present during our phone conversations, doing laundry and such, interrupts us. I keep trying to end things because it's too much for me, but he is insistent. I genuinely love him with all my heart, despite knowing him only 3 weeks. What do? I hate his ex and she is toxic, but he won't leave her home. But I love him so much. He's literally my first love. Why won't this, Jimmy? What is this chick's problem? Why won't she just accept that this man has another woman in his life? All right, what is her deal?
Man, I don't know. There are a lot of people that are just blind as fuck. Uh, and I don't know, for whatever reason, they just really fall blindly in love with the other person who's just clearly fucking him over.
Yeah, the crazy thing to me is that it's only been 3 weeks too. Like this is kind of a long one, so it's one of those green texts where when you get to line like 9 or 10, you kind of start to forget what was on line 1 or 2. So when you get hit with that at the end, I genuinely love him with all my heart, despite knowing him only 3 weeks. It's almost like a shock to the system. It's like you got kicked in the chest. You're like, what the fuck? 3 weeks, bro, and you're doing all this shit. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And then it's also like, yo, you've known him for 3 weeks and you want him to move into your house and you love him and all this other stuff. Like, I think everybody's the problem in this situation. I don't think there's anybody that's really the good guy here. I think everybody's kind of fucked up.
I mean, obviously we need more details, but I have met people where they have good intentions. They just dive head first into things. Like, like this chick allowing herself to fall in love so deeply with this guy who's like just fucking nuts alongside his ex-girlfriend. Uh, I've just met people who fall in love like that, both guys and girls, and it's like they're not necessarily bad people. They're just kind of dumbasses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, love is love, Jimmy. Even dumbass love. You know, even dumbasses have feelings too. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about this. I don't know if you got anything, but if not, we can go ahead. We can move on to the calls.
I mean, it's just the whole situation is just fucking depressing. Like, bottom line, like I don't know, just the thought of like rotting away home with like just a fucking super dysfunctional couple and like just some third party like trying to date one of them. God, that's just a fucking depressing sight.
Oh yeah, it sucks seeing people down bad like that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll go ahead. There's one person in the waiting room right now. I don't know if more people are gonna hop in. If not, we'll just chill. We'll go ahead. We'll pull this person in and we'll see what they have to say. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on, man? What do you have to say to the love doctors?
I can't hear this, man.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't hear him either.
oh no, I haven't talked yet. So what I was
Oh,
going to say
Oh,
is, first of all, just a quick question. Feel free to not answer if you guys don't want to. How many girls have you guys been with, slept? Doesn't really matter. Just like had a somewhat relationship, mutual relationship with.
do you want to go
does this
first, or you
include
want
one
me?
night stand?
Feel
What
free
does this
not to answer.
include?
It's a personal question.
Does this include one night stands?
Yeah, one night stands. Even like I
Well,
would even
then
consider.
I guess at this point, because of the Valentine's Day thing, it would have just been bumped up to 30.
Oh yeah,
It was 29 when I was on Fish Tank, and now it's 30.
oh yeah,
But
good for you.
obviously, it's yeah.
Well, first of all, I like the stream. I think it's funny to talk about love and stuff like that, relationships, but I think it's a lot easier explained than a lot of people make it. I think at the end of the day, girls are a lot like guys. If you can like think about some of the things that you look for when you approach a girl. A, how pretty is she? B, how easy is she to talk to? C, is there a guy involved or something? And honestly, C is like a girl will still try to get it if a guy has a girlfriend. Example, the last screen text you guys just read. That almost never stops them. To make yourself like better off, like easier to talk to girls, I feel like you just got to make yourself approachable, man. Funny, lighthearted, not too serious, and you can kind of pick up the vibes if they're into you and you're into them. But it seems like you guys have no trouble. Like Jimmy's at 30. I bet Sensei's probably at like high 30s, low 40s, dude. You know what I mean? I appreciate
No,
you guys.
the overwhelming majority of my numbers are just luck slash right place, right time, really.
Yeah,
Uh, like I have no fucking clue how I did it. Uh,
that's the key, though. You didn't have
like
to. You're just being
even
yourself.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point.
I see chat talking about the goth girlfriend. Props on that, dude. Goth girls are hot, and you know what I mean? Like, usually they're not too brain virused. You might be able to find a good wife there, bro, if that's what you're looking for.
Just
Another thing is, I saw this a little back and forth happen in the chat earlier. Dude, girls cheat. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what family they're from. It doesn't matter if they're from the hood of Boston or they're from a penthouse in New York City or downtown Boston. A girl will cheat on you. And you know what I mean? There's almost not a lot you could do to stop it. Honestly. I mean, I'm not gonna
oh,
sit here and say I've never been cheated on. I feel like most guys in the stream have never been cheated on. It's how you sort of roll with it, man. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have been cheated on too, right?
Yeah, I've been cheated on like
Yeah.
plenty of times, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I I have
Every man has been.
I have stories that like you would expect from the Reddit green text and stuff like that. I think that's part of being a dude is like you have to learn how to deal with women, you know? And that's one of the issues that like the modern day dating scene has is like these weird pink-haired feminists have ruined it to the point where if you make a mistake, you're not just ridiculed by like a girl and her friends anymore. It's like you could potentially go to jail, you know? Like
Yeah, that's true.
you used to be able to just be like hey, you want to go on a date? And then a girl's like, ew, no, and then that's the worst that could happen. But now it's like, you want to go on a date? And all of a sudden you're getting pulled into like the principal's office or HR or like there's some other guy who's like, is this guy giving you trouble? You know? Um,
I
and
hate those guys.
yeah, and like, you know, you got you like I said, you got to learn how to deal with women, and you know, a lot of it just comes down to not being attached and things like that, and not psyching them out. You know, it's like
Yeah.
everybody shits. You know, everybody gets home from work and they sit down on the toilet and they take a big fat shit before they go and like do whatever it is they do with their time. You know, everybody's a
Yeah.
human. Everybody has the same functions as us, and you know, there's no reason to look at a girl and be like, "Oh man, dude, she's so pretty, bro." Like, how, what do I say? How do I talk to her? You know. And then from there, you can also develop like I not ideas, but strategies and things like that. Like I told TJ about something on Fish Tank, like briefly when Taylor was down in the basement. Um, you know, I said like, hey, like if you get into what a girl is into, your chances of getting with her are like higher. You know, to
Oh
obviously
hell
not,
yeah.
yeah, obviously not telling him to lie, right? But like if he could, you know, find the fun in playing poker and gambling and shit like that, well, he's got a reason to be around Taylor now, and they have something in common now. So you know, Taylor might see that and be like, oh, hey, maybe you know, he's kind of cute. I like his long hair. Oh, he shaved it off. I like his short hair. Uh, you know, maybe we could gamble together.
I love that third green text too. That's a guy in a relationship, living with his girlfriend, probably doesn't have a job, and that guy got laid. You know what I mean? Anyone can get laid, dude. You
Uh,
just gotta where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh
what were
yeah,
we
for sure.
talking about before?
Oh, dude, the last green text. I'm just like reading between the
Ah,
lines about some of the things the girl said. It seems like that guy that's living with the girl in the last green text is it in the girl he living's with mind. She's still in a relationship with him, and the girl he's banging and bringing to her house, he's also in a relationship with her. You know what I mean? So guys will play that line, girls will play that line. One of the most
hang on.
important things is
Oh,
oh, you're good. Not having like a facade you have to keep up. Because I've done that with a girl, like where they think you're this person you're not, and that's the person they're attracted to. And you have to maintain this active, like, act of this guy who you aren't just to keep them interested. That will, 9 times out of 10, that relationship won't last 5 years. Whereas if you're honest with a girl, you're like, not just honest, like things you say with her, honest about who you are, what you're like, what makes you laugh, things that actually bug you, that's where you get some deep emotional connection. And if you're looking to actually wife a bitch up, that's what you need. You need an emotional connection with a girl. If you're trying
Yeah.
to lie and say you're some guy you're not, she's like, once she finds out, dude, if not before, she's gonna start cheating on you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, there's never a reason to lie about anything. You know, fucking
Yeah,
it's pointless.
guys do it though. They go to the club like, hey, like some finance guy. Hey, girl, I make a mill. He makes 200K. Brings her back to his rented penthouse. I own this shit, babe. You know what I mean? A lot of ways you can like blur the lines on some of that and like make a girl think you're someone you're not, and you're not really going out of the way to lie. You're just fudging some aspects of who you are so that she's more attracted to you, so you can hit. Because that happens, dude.
It does.
And guys, I think it's so funny. Guys, I mean, it's
oh
sad
wait,
for
now I
them, but
remember what I was about to say.
go ahead.
Uh, okay, so for actually like finding a girlfriend and like I don't know, even like just fooling around with a woman, the most important thing is like They can pick up if a guy is looking for sex, and a lot of women don't like that. So if you're just looking to like chill, vibe, and see who they are on the inside, obviously like see if like they're physically fucking attractive to you, you know, but like
Yeah,
kind of just focus on who they are on the inside. They can pick up on that and they'll appreciate that.
I agree.
And I
A
will
lot of
say
girls
that
are.
that does
Yeah.
that
Well, a
will
lot of girls. I
lead
agree.
you. Yeah, that will actually lead to you like getting a fucking kiss or something, you know. Uh,
Some girls are attracted to that
if you're trying to
machoism, though. You know what I mean? They just want a guy who walks right up to them,
some
"What's up, babe?" You know what I mean? Not all girls,
some
but
but
it's definitely some.
some but they're usually like the fucking trashy ones, and like
Yep.
they always fucking bitch about it because they always it gets to a point where it's like it's clearly fucking deliberate too, but like they'll always go for like the piece of shit dudes that just treat them like crap. Like they're just
Oh, yep. No, that's my internet connection. By the way, unrelated question about dating, Sensei. How hard did Judge hit when he's actually going full force? Is that due to tank?
I mean, me and Judge haven't ever gone full force on each other before, but I mean, yeah, he hits pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? It seemed like one of the one of my like things I liked during Fish Tank was watching you guys spar in the background, and the whole time I was wondering, I'm like, are these guys going all out? Is Sensei really? You know what I mean? Like, how pressed is Sensei right now?
What, when I'm sparring with Sam?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not that like he would ever go all out, because I know that's not what you do in a sparring session. You're usually like 80 to 90% is like the max of what you'll output so you don't hurt your training partner. But it was interesting to see you guys training there. It was like it was completely almost unrelated to Fish Tank, but it was like I'm wondering how hard Judge actually punches a motherfucker now.
No, he hits pretty hard, but he's not trying to on purpose or anything like that. He's you know,
Yeah,
he's just a big guy, and that's you know, big guys hit hard even when they're not trying to.
it's true. It's true. Oh, Sensei, what was your longest relationship?
Longest relationship is 5 years, which is actually longer than I've even been with my wife right now. I dated a
Nice,
girl who,
congratulations.
thank you. I dated a girl who, I mean, she was nice for a little while, and you know, I spent a little bit too much time with her though. Basically, she was a bit of a loser, if I'm being honest with you. You know,
Okay.
I wish nothing but the best for her. But if we're just being honest, like she couldn't keep a
Yeah.
job. She wanted to smoke mad weed even when she didn't have a job. And that's partially my fault. I'm the one who got her into the weed, but I stopped smoking after a while and started taking life serious. You know, wanting to
Respect
drive
it.
like 45 minutes to an hour away to see her friends when she, again, doesn't have a job. Living at my place and stuff like that. And
I've had similar situations.
yeah, there's a lot of fucked up people out there, you know. And she ended up breaking it off with me. I woke up and you know, she had moved out of my place by then. She moved out of my place by then, and I woke up to a note on my counter along with the spare set of keys that I gave to her. And she said that I didn't want to be like a good person and things like that, or I didn't want to improve, which is hilarious because I was the
Yeah.
only one doing anything to improve. I read that and I just went back to bed. I was like, yeah, fuck it, you know. And now she's a single
Yeah.
mom who is chasing her baby daddy around, who you know is keeping her on the hook, fucking other bitches. And yeah, so I mean, not that there's
Oh,
a
you hate to
winner.
see it.
Yeah, not that there's a winner and a loser, but you know, I definitely don't think she is the winner. You know, if there was to be a winner, you know, I don't sit there like
Hmm.
comparing myself like, ha, I won, but it's like that's she a real winning move is what I'm trying to say. She did a real winning move, you know? It's
She
just
tried to
crazy.
like make you feel bad too with that note.
Yeah.
Like you can
Yeah.
always tell when a girl's trying to twist the knife, you know what I mean? That seems like a knife twist move. She's looking to cause some damage. Good on you for not falling for that.
Yeah, and she got mad too. She was like, "What? You're not even going to try and like talk to me about it?" And I was like, "Nah, like we're done. Like what do you want?" You left a note calling me a bad person, and I felt like, I don't, whatever, bro. I'm a bad guy. Why would you even want to be with me? Have a good one, you know? And her and her baby daddy still tried to cause problems for me. Like, I was getting, like, calls from them and shit like that. Them fucking, like, talking
That's
shit.
so scummy.
Yeah. The dude
That's
threatened
so
to,
scummy.
yeah, dude threatened to hit me with a tire iron. It was just funny as shit because this is one of those like Dorchester, like Brockton. I mean, you know, if you're not from Mass, you don't exactly know about these areas, but like it's
Oh, I know about Dorchester.
yeah, it's like not even Dorchester. That's the thing is like you know, Brockton is a good place to talk about with this phenomenon because you have a lot of like lily white kids who like they decide they're going to become wiggers because they're like, oh, if I become a wigger, maybe I won't get fucked with. And because of that, they talk weird and they say shit like that. They call you up and they're like, I'm going to hit you over the head with a fucking tire iron, dude. It's like that type of
Yo, I
shit.
fucking wish like that in my hometown were at least half that intimidating. They say a bunch of retarded words and like they won't do it to like thinking that no one will fuck with them. They just have this idea of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be hot shit. I'm gonna be Mr. Kingpin. I'm gonna be Mr. Xanax dealer. And they dip into their own supply, turn themselves in fuck because mommy and daddy have all the money in the world. They get away with it. / go to like the fucking luxury rehab shit like that. Then they act
Really,
like, oh, woe's me, because they chose to both deal pills and dip into their own supply, and it's like, get fucked.
Yeah.
little story about Dorchester Sensei. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm from Mass too, and I dated a girl from Dorchester. We met in college, and
Oh, jeez.
I went to her like house in the projects for like my 22nd birthday. She threw me like a quinceañera type, you know, like a Spanish party. It was sick. Like I had a great time. It was fun. Met a couple of her friends, but quickly, like, not to say I was judging her, but quickly got a sense of what was like her home life before she went to college. And like, needless to say, things didn't work out. But you know, you live and you learn, man. That's half of what dating is. Like, you date a lot, not like a lot of girls, but you date so that you can acquire the relationship maturity, so that your next relationship hopefully ends up better, or is in a better better give and take. That's the goal anyway. But it's so funny you said Dorchester, dude, 'cause that's legit the exact spot that she was from, and I was like, holy shit, we're from like two different worlds, aren't we, girl? Because I'm from like the suburbs of Worcester, so I mean, not to say Worcester's great, but Dorchester's a different animal than Worcester, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some bad parts of Massachusetts, that's for sure. You know?
Damn straight, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flood Worcester with Horderman's Horde. I'm gonna flood Worcester with a bunch of moldy books, and there's nothing you're gonna do to stop me.
Flood
I'm flooding your
Southbridge,
town,
dude.
kid. Get fucked.
Southbridge needs it. Southbridge might as well be called just like Puerto Rico, bro. That place is a straight up mafia red. Like, there's just gunshot. Like, there's a town over from me, and Southbridge is fucked, bro. Like, there's almost no. If that's
Well, with
any
all due
like,
respect,
yeah, no, you go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, with all due respect, fellas, kind of seems like all of Massachusetts is a bit fucked right now.
There's some nice parts though. But you're right though. The entire
Like
United
just in
States
terms
is
of
kinda
like
fucked.
how expensive shit is with like unnecessary taxes and like what half the
True.
taxes are even being spent on.
Cigs are like 13, 14 bucks a pack. It's fucking highway robbery, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the downfall of Massachusetts is there's no good places to live, and if there is a good place to live, it's too expensive to live in, you know? You used to have
Exactly.
working class towns, but the thing is they stopped doing projects, or they do projects, but they aren't like they used to be. You know, they used to build housing projects specifically to house the
Correct.
low income people, but um, now they're doing Section 8 housing in the suburbs and things like that. So you have these suburbs that were nice places, but now they got crack shacks and shit like that because some dickhead moves out of the ghetto, and instead of trying to improve his situation, he just brings the ghetto to whatever town he's in, you know, and it's really fucked up, you know.
It floods it with drugs. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
dude. North Adams is like that in the corner of Mass by Williamstown, that really nice town. North Adams used to be a great middle class city / town, and it has taken a turn for the worse, my friends.
Well, but here's the issue.
Mm.
So the people you actually need to blame are what's known as the social scientists. Social scientists run fucking housing projects, right?
True.
In fact, social scientists are responsible not only for the crime wave of the 70s, but also essentially like the destruction of like a bunch of like what were once really good working class black neighborhoods and communities. Because they will deliberately take like the worst fucking housing project people that like they know deal hard drugs or some shit, or like will have a violent past, but they won't even bother to do a background check. And they put them into the nice area with this delusion that they're going to, stop their way of crimes and whatnot, but they never fucking do.
They essentially just
The
gave
other
them
main
more
reason,
clientele.
well, yeah, but the other main reason is right when our country shipped all of our jobs overseas to places like China, like no shit, like the middle class is gonna fucking vanish. That combined with being taken off the gold standard, it's like there are no jobs to really be had. Uh, so you get like all the middle class communities where they're kind of be built around factories and like shit like that. Like, well, everything just goes tits up, especially when all the jobs go overseas, which is fucking bullshit. We shouldn't be made to compete with slavery.
Mm. I want to.
It's crazy to think.
I want to read
Wait, go ahead.
I want to read a chat real quick from somebody. They said Josh Queens said, just wondering why everyone dismisses incels. We're people too, and we're in pain.
Yeah.
Nobody here was dismissing incels, dude. If you're an incel, that sucks for you, And I try not to make fun of incels in a serious way. My advice to you would be to stop giving a shit, though. Like genuinely, stop caring
Hell
about
yeah.
it. Don't like the
Trust me.
women. It's like I think Jimmy said it a little bit earlier. They can kind of smell it on you when you're trying to have sex with them, and they smell the desperation. It doesn't mean that like you have to. It doesn't mean you have to think about like other things when you're approaching them. Like obviously, if you're approaching a woman that you think is attractive, like you're gonna be like, oh, she's attractive, I want to talk to her, right? But like just stop giving a shit in the most general sense, and you're gonna see that everything gets a lot better, right? And that doesn't just mean in terms of like, oh, I'm approaching a woman and like I'm attracted to her and I want to make it work. I mean in general, like don't care when a woman says no to you. Just be like, whatever. Like genuinely, the only reason you're hurt is because you care. Bottom line. I don't know if you're still here, dude, but I saw that and I saw some other stuff you said, and I wanted to talk to you about that because that's bothersome when I see incels get into the black pill speak and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's true, man.
Yeah. Did you have anything?
At the end of the day.
Did you have anything you wanted to say before we move on?
Yeah. Well, one, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. You guys are fun to talk to. And two, I would just say, I forget what I had like a thought about, like, in general, what you guys are talking about. I think Jimmy said it the best with like, girl can smell on you, and you said it too, Scott. Your drive, your want to get laid. So if you can seem nonchalant, if you feel yourself like your face getting red, which are all normal things, dude. Like if you're in front of a girl you like and your face gets red, that's a human reaction.
Oh no, girls like it when you blush out of like shyness a bit. It's more so they can tell when like you're just being extremely horny and it's like, wow, yeah I really want to fucking fuck her.
And a lot of guys think girls don't think about sex as much as we do. A mature girl, I think, like doesn't think as much about sex as a mature guy, but it's a ratio. It's like at least 1/3 as much. They're not thinking about sex. If you do stuff that's sexually attractive to them, like what I mean, they will respond in a way that is going to be like beneficial for you. unless you seem like you are a little bit too thirsty. At the same time, don't take any advice like, what's it called? Oh, that's the best advice, and I'm never gonna go against it. There's girls who like there's girls who like when you walk right up to them and say, "What's up, bitch?" Or like, you know what I mean? Not that specifically,
Yeah.
but in essence, they like the guy who puts himself out there.
And like,
Girls are attracted to everything.
hear me out. Hear me out. Here's like the best fucking example of like that. There's hope for all of us, right, fellas? Y'all need to look up. No, we don't know why she was banned off of Twitter, but y'all need to look up Fat Lover 69, right? I shit you
Fat
not
Lover
when I say
69.
that. Look up Fat Lover 69. Just look up like pictures of her, right? She's fucking real, and she's a terrific shit poster. For some reason, Twitter thinks that she's a bot or some shit. But yeah, so look her up. I shit you not, Airsoft Fatty could most likely have her as a girlfriend because she just is really into fat dudes.
No, I believe it, dude.
Just-
Girls are in everything. I'm telling you, there's a girl for everyone. There's a girl for that guy that we saw his green post about living in a house with his other girl. There's a girl for that asshole. There's a girl for anyone in this chat, even if you think you're an incel. But yo, thanks for
Also,
having me,
be
guys.
right
I'll
back.
let you get to the next call.
anytime.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Peace up.
Anytime. Take care.
Be right back. I'm just gonna grab a couple more snacks.
Okay. Dude, I don't know what it is, but I smell something that smells so good in my room. It kind of smells like Oreos almost, but not like Oreos with cream. And I'm like, fuck, what is that smell, dude? Where is that coming from? I have no clue. But so I didn't want to start asking other people to jump in when that first gentleman was in the call. Right now, there's nobody in the waiting room. If nobody jumps in, it's all good. If nobody wants to talk to me and Jimmy, all right, that's fine. We can take a hint. All right, it's fine. But if you want to talk to us about relationship shit, and it can be anything, you don't just have to ask us for advice and stuff like that. You can talk about anything regarding like gender relations and things like that in the modern day, because I mean that extends to relationships. Feel free to jump in, and I want to extend the invitation specifically to Josh Queens in the chat.
Hello.
What's up, Jimmy? I want to extend the invitation to Josh Queens in the chat because you seem to have a lot to say about being an incel, and I think it would be interesting for us to speak about this. So if you want to jump into the Discord server. It's pinned in the chat, and you can go ahead and you can jump in the waiting room, and we'll pull you in. But until something like that happens, me and Jimmy are gonna sit here in silence until somebody gets in there. Is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna. You can end this whenever you're ready. Just jump in.
Sorry, I'm eating.
Nah, that's all good, man. Fuck 'em. Guys, don't make fun of the dude just because he identifies as an incel. Okay, fucking there's no, there's no reason to be dunking on the guy like that. All right, it's not cool, man. Not cool.
Why be mean to him when you can tickle his pickle?
Exactly.
Think about it, fellas.
That solves two issues. I tried to be an incel in my teens, but I was too good looking. That would mean you're Volcel. Oh man, I don't know if this dude is still in the chat or not. I hope he is, cause like I've never spoken to an incel in like a legitimate way before. I've spoken to them over like chat rooms and stuff like that. But I've never had a conversation with an incel in like real time.
One thing that fucking drives me nuts though is like incels literally weren't even a fucking thing until the media started saying like, oh yeah, the incel movement exists and they are extremists. That's literally when like those types fucking showed up. Before it was just like dudes who were born ugly. It's like, yeah, we got handed like a shit fucking hand by life, but we're just gonna fucking deal with it. It was just to be like, I don't know, It was just like chill, like Eggman. Eggman is like one of like the original incels. I'm just saying, like it wasn't like the whole Andrew Tate slash women hating thing. That really wasn't until like the media started saying like, oh yeah, these are incels, they hate women. Then those types actually showed up. Sorry, that's just always been something that's like annoyed me since it happened. Like gosh, when was it? 2017, 2018.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, incels definitely existed before the media was saying they did, but they turned it into something that it wasn't. You know, if you
Yeah.
take 1,000 people and put them in a room, there's a chance that at least one of those guys is gonna have violent tendencies in some form. You know, at least one of them, right? So naturally, like, you get a forum full of guys who, like, they're upset that they feel their lives are completely outside of their control, that they were dealt a shit hand that's too shit to come back from, and then they you know, like, one of them does something heinous, which obviously I would never condone, and I don't even think they would condone. And then the media turns around and is like, "Oh, these guys are a dangerous movement," and it's like they're not a movement. You know, a movement would imply they're a group of dudes who have a direction they're trying to go into politically or socially. Really, these guys just
Mhm.
want to, like, you know, these guys just sort of like, you know, they just they're just doing their thing at the end of the day. You know. Um,
Well, no, it's like it's on top of which it's just like it was literally like just a kind of like just a support group for like dudes who were just born ugly. It's like that's all it was. For some reason they considered Elliot Rodger an incel, but if we're going by the original definition, he never was. He was just a dumbass who didn't realize that he had the looks and everything. He just needed to fix himself on a personality level. Like again, when you look at Eggman, who actually before Sam Hyde, Eggman was Eggman. I think might have been the first to be like accused of like a bunch of different school shootings and shit like that. But when you look at him, it's just dudes where you know genetically they got fucked, but they were just still living life and marching on. Eggman's actually had some really fucked up experiences with dates where like she would go like he went on a date with one chick, then it was just like her and her friends just immediately like the second they thought he was out of like earshot started just roasting him and he was like, bruh. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I personally like the guy. He's kind of got like an interesting backstory.
Yeah, no, I've talked to Eggy. He's really just he's really a nice, upbeat type of dude who you can tell he just wants the best for everybody around him. You know, I really hope he came up to Rhode Island recently, but I was too strapped to be able to get down to see him, which, like, it really makes me upset because I want to, you know, I've been wanting to meet Eggy for a while. Like I said, genuinely cool dude. You know, I think Elliot Rodger, his issue is that he was entitled. You know, and actually, if you watch Monkey
Oh
Jones,
yeah.
I don't think these videos are up anymore, but the Monkey Jones videos about Elliot Rodger, it details that pretty well because here we have a dude who wasn't the ugliest dude you've ever seen. He was also rich and things like that, but when he talks about his stories with dating, it's literally like, oh, I was standing 10 feet away from her and she didn't come over and start sucking my dick wordlessly. Like, that was literally Elliot Rodger, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, just get the fuck over yourself. I mean, we actually had like plenty of conversations about this too. Just like, uh, I threw out Fish Tank this season. Where it's just like, bro, you gotta get the fuck over yourself.
Oh yeah. We got someone in the waiting room. I'm gonna read something by Josh real quick, and then we're gonna pull this guy into the into the call. But Josh Queen says, in my
Sure
case, I
thing.
can't have regular relationships because of my intense social anxiety. I'm not ugly and I'm very fit. I'm also an engineer. Yeah, I mean, in that case, dude, just
Bro, get yourself an introvert girlfriend.
yeah, there's one thing. In addition to that, I mean,
Trust me, like
you're an engineer and you have to work with people. I would assume, engineers typically don't just like stay inside all day not talking to people. You have to coordinate with people. Like utilize that as a way to try and get over your social anxiety. In addition to that, if you have problems with strangers, one thing you can do, one thing you can do is if you're walking by someone on the street, and I'm pretty sure you said you're a bit of a shut-in because of this, but let's say you're walking down the street one day, right? You walk by someone, right? Just give them a nod, okay? Give them a nod. Be like, "What's up?" Not like "What's up?" Like be very be very careful, right? Because if you're not used to interacting with people, you might come on a little bit strong by mistake. But just be like, "What's going on, man?" And then just keep on walking, right? You're gonna notice that typically people are like, "Oh, what's up?" They're like they return that, right? They return the energy that you send out to them. And I'm not saying you're gonna go from being like hello to strangers on the street to like macking to bitches and shit like that, obviously. But it's a way to kind of get accustomed to talking to people that you're not otherwise comfortable to speaking to. In addition to that, I'm gonna say again, just stop giving a shit. And I know, you're probably like, yeah, if I could do that, I would, but you're gonna find that if you stop giving a shit, it's a lot easier than you thought it was. And oh, excuse me. And you're gonna realize that like just because you have one bad interaction with somebody, it doesn't mean the world explodes. It's real easy for you to go into a place and have a bad interaction with someone, and then just be like, "All right, I don't have to see that person again." Don't be too fucked up about it, right? But with that said, we have three people in the waiting room now. Okay, I know what order they were in, so we'll go ahead and we'll pull them in that order.
Sullivan.
What's going on? I almost said your name. I try to avoid saying names on these things. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right. You got anything you want to say to me and Jimmy?
Yeah. First of all, big fan of Fish Tank. Jimmy, you're one of my favorites, and Sensei
thank
Scott,
you.
it's always good seeing you on the show. That's always one of the highlights. And I don't know if this question's been asked before, but I would love to see you two do like Sensei Scott. Would you consider like bringing Jimmy on to like do like an MMA, like a 1 week MMA kind of like training session?
Yeah, I mean, me and Jimmy, we live in the same region. I'd be down to meet up with him and train and shit like that. We'd have to plan it out because he lives in you live in Vermont, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay,
Somewhere around there.
I shouldn't have asked. I didn't think about whether or not you wanted to speak about that. That's my bad. But yeah, we live in the same area. All right, we both live somewhere around Vermont. So, I mean, we could potentially try and put something like that together. It's just a matter of logistics and making sure we both have the time.
I think that'd be
Yeah.
great content for the both of you. I think a lot of people would love to see that.
Yeah, maybe we could figure something out.
Yeah. Fucking MMA at Horderman's. Or
Yeah,
training at
I'd be down.
Horderman's. Because, I mean, Lord knows there's just so much shit to fucking lift.
Hell yeah.
I do just want to say this really quick because Jimmy, I haven't had the opportunity to talk to you at all. But again, huge fan. You were my favorite on the show, and I was sad to see you leave, and I was glad to see you come back, even if it was only momentarily. And thank you for all the content.
Oh, anytime. Thank you for being a fan and for your support. Now I'm gonna have to ask you, why
Mhm.
is your name Boy Kisses? Are we gonna have a problem here? You can't be
Maybe.
going around with that name now. Can't be going around with that name now, you hear?
Not in certain circles. No, absolutely not.
You got to change it.
Yeah, change it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's against the bro code.
Gotcha. Well, normally I'm Baby Dingus, but on here I didn't. It's Boy Kisses, so I go by many names, but those are the two main ones. Yeah, I follow you on Twitch. I'm Baby Dingus, by the way.
But
I don't know which one you prefer, but
I mean, they're both very silly. If I can be honest, I like them
nice.
both.
Hell yeah. And
Yeah.
Sensei, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm breaking the rules. Scott, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Hey, so I saw you on the PKA podcast, and I'm a huge PKA fan. I'm just curious. What was it like when they reached out to you? Like, were you already a fan beforehand, or like, what was that process like?
Yeah, I mean, I knew about PKA and I watched I mostly watched their clips and stuff like that. You know, I'm a fan of theirs. I wouldn't say I'm like a super duper fan or anything like that. I'm sure a lot of their old fans would probably look down on me or something like that. But basically, it just kind of happened. I made a post on Twitter saying like, "Yo, if you want me to be on like, if you want me to reach out to anybody, if you want me to be on like a podcast or anything like that, like just hit me up, let me know, blah blah blah." And then somebody tagged Taylor. And Taylor was like, "Oh yeah, dude, we'll get him on." And then within like an hour, we had it scheduled for that same week. So it wasn't even a process. It was just like Taylor hit me up like, "Yo, come on," and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Nice, yeah. I know they're all big fans of Fish Tank, so I was curious. It was neat seeing you come on like almost immediately, like within like a week after the season 2 ended. So
Yeah, I'm still upset though, because of course I get on PKA, which I was like mad hyped about, and then like later that night I got a scratch in my throat, and I started getting fucking sick, and that's why I was so flat, and I'm like I'm never gonna not be mad about that. But yeah, it was a lot. Sorry about that. I think it might have been on my end that time. That was weird. Yeah, Discord was being strange. But yeah, basically I was saying they're really cool guys, and I was really glad to be on, you know, and hopefully I'll be able to do it again at some point.
yeah, nice. I would love to see you on again.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk
Was someone
about?
talking to me?
I think that's about it. I don't want to waste any more time. The other people in the waiting room. Again, just want to say a big
No,
fans of both
sorry.
of you guys.
Yeah. Likewise, thank you so much again for your support. I just completely spaced out and zoned out. I am so sorry.
Not a problem, man. Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for having me on.
Peace out, man.
You as well, dude. Take care.
Yeah. We could take these last two and then get
Did I
out of
space
here
out on
because
something?
it is starting to get on the late
Shit.
side for me too. All right, so almost 10 minutes ago, somebody sent me $5. Scott Soylivin tipped me $5. Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much, Mr. Soylivin. Here's my yearly licensing fee for using your likeness as the
Scott,
basis
you
of
there?
my Soyjack account. You and Jimmy are a natural duo together. Should do a martial arts advice stream together. That is
Scott?
something. You there, Jimmy? Jimmy,
Hello.
you alive? Jimmy? Uh-oh. We're losing him. Hold on. I'm gonna pull him out of the call, and then I'm gonna pull him back in the call. Jimmy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I think Discord was shit in the bed for a second.
No, you're good.
Yeah. I was saying we could take these last two calls and then we could call it for the day because you know it is starting to get on the late side. Somebody said we should do a martial. Somebody said we should do a martial arts stream together, and I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure you saw it. I suggested that in the DM. If you want to do another stream sometime, we can review fights and, and other shit like that.
I'm fucking down.
Cool.
Hell shit. Actually, I do have like some old VHS tapes like on hockey fights and shit like that. We could fucking review that.
That would be pretty sick. I'd be down to do something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like from the 80s or something like that, but we'll see.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what year.
All right. I'm gonna pull the next gentleman in.
Whoa.
But
Yo, what's good, man?
Hello, Trevor. Hey.
What's going on? What's going on, Alk?
I'm enjoying America.
Oh yeah,
The little breaths of it that I can get.
yeah.
What's left of it?
The little space is a highway where you forget about all the inhumane bullshit.
Yeah, where the speed limit is 80 miles an hour.
Exactly. Dude, what's going on, man? How you been?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Nice. This is
I'm waiting for some fraud dash. I'm not gonna get a refund. I'm gonna be a good boy this time.
that's good. Dude,
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long ass time, and it's because the first time we tried to do that, it didn't pan out the way it was supposed to. They gave me a partial refund, and I was like, fuck. Of course, it would be me, the guy who they're
Yeah,
like, oh no. Yeah, Jimmy, this is an old friend of
Yeah,
mine.
they stopped.
got it.
It's gotten a lot harder to do that. Partly because of our work to kind of expose it all. I mean, that's actually what got me interested in data analytics, and it's what got me interested in the gig economy. So, in a way, I think a lot of good came from it, even though the pandemic gets most of the credit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
AIDS. I like your profile.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, honestly, I've never seen the point in DoorDash. My mom always bitches about money, yet her and my stepdad keep getting DoorDash for like groceries and shit. It's like, bro, you're fucking bitching about money. Like that shit's so much more expensive to have like DoorDash to your fucking house.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, DoorDash was fun to do, but now I mean I haven't done it in like well over a year because I just don't have the time. But I also wonder if it's even worth it to try and do it because I don't know if like I don't know if people are tipping like that. You know, I used to get no tips for like 5 mile dashes and shit like that, and it was just like holy fuck, man. You know.
No tip, no trip.
Exactly. No tip. Yes, that's it. Exactly it. No tip, no trip. Fuck you, brokies. Go fuck yourselves. By the way,
But I
Alka.
think that depends a lot on your market. Like if you're in a better area, like it really depends. You gotta know the
Oh,
area, and you
well,
gotta pick.
so the areas where it'd be profitable, you're gonna have to fucking like your customers are gonna be a bunch of insufferably snobby cunts. Uh, Connecticut suburbs, like waspy Connecticut suburbs. Like you're gonna have to be dealing with that shit, but they'd probably tip you well.
Yeah. No, I noticed that too. That you want affluent customers.
Yeah. Dude,
It's definitely better.
Alka, I saw something earlier that reminded me of you. I guess there was a well, I mean not for the overt reason here, but I guess during the Super Bowl there was a streaker. And according to something I saw on Twitter, I haven't fact checked it. You know, I haven't seen if it's been debunked yet. But I
Mhm.
guess the dude put down a $50,000 bet as to whether or not there would be a streaker at the Super Bowl. He then attended the Super Bowl, streaked across the field, and he cashed out for almost 400 grand.
Sigma.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
that's peak fraud world right there.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how do you
Did
feel
he
about
get?
fraud
I
world?
mean, like, did he catch a charge for it?
Yeah, he caught a charge, but it was like a $1,000 fine. So it's like he's still up.
Yeah. I guess as long as it's not a felony, right? Worth it.
Exactly. Even if it was a felony, it's like how much time are you really gonna do for streaking at the Super Bowl? You even if you could face jail time, I feel like it'd be like a month. You know.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. What do you get for that? Public indecency or
Well,
indecent exposure?
I guess he wasn't actually naked. He just ran across the field with like, I think he was in like a leotard and some shorts and shit like that. But other than that, he was clothed.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about on you know we're on a stream right now, by the way, right?
Yes.
Oh, all
Yes.
right, okay, all right. Just making sure.
Well, I guess there's a lot of lore that your fans need to know when it comes to Fraud World and all of that stuff. But what they really need to know about is CloutEngine.net.
That is true. I have the shirts
Yeah.
somewhere around. They're probably in the clean laundry basket. I have a clean and a dirty laundry basket. I just transfer them as time goes on. But yeah,
Yeah.
cloudengine.net. This is it's a clothing site that my buddy here runs. I have a couple of designs on there that I made up as well. So you guys
That's
should
right.
check it out for real. It's he's got some really cool stuff on there, and I think it'd be right up everyone's alley. I don't mean to completely and totally shill, for you guys, but I wouldn't be shilling if I didn't actually think the shit was cool.
He's got the official Trevor Carey, shirt. Actually, that's another thing they need to be caught up on is why I call you Trevor Carey.
Nah, we can't tell them about that. We definitely can't.
Okay,
That's a story that's for us.
we gotta. Well, we're gonna make it. That's gonna be movie material one day.
Exactly. Alec, it's
I'll
clout.
be, I'll
It's
be,
it's clout dash engine, right? .net.
no, there's no dash.
Okay. All right. I posted the thing in the Discord.
Okay, cool.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull somebody else in. We got one more caller before we close up shop for the night. But thanks for popping in, man.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'll see you on the stream.
Oh yeah. Peace out. All right, Jimmy. We got one more.
Yes.
We got one more.
Okay. All right.
Hello, you are live.
Hey, how's it going, Scott? How's it going, Jimmy? Hey, everybody on the
Let's
stream.
go.
Doing all right, man. What about you?
A little late, man. Drinking some beer, having a good time, watching the stream. Figured I'd jump in and give you guys a cringe relationship story since it's like, the first relationship I ever had.
Oh yeah,
kind
that's
of good.
always a cringe one.
Oh yeah, so it's Omega. It's terrible cringe. I don't want to go into too much detail. I met her on this game called Ragnarok Online. And we started dating because I would always visit New York, so I figured, I could see her in real life. It's not like a fake-ass relationship. We were probably 12 and 13, I think, at the time. And
That's kind of cute.
she cheated on me with her cousin.
Whoa.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. The first girl I get to date like this, she's pretty and everything. Oh, great. I get to start, maybe I can actually go see this girl and like take her out, maybe meet my family or something. She comes back from a vacation. Oh, I screwed my cousin.
Damn, bro. Did she did she post about it on r/incest confessions by any chance?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to dox her or anything, but so she's in a smaller part of New York, so she's closer to you guys than where I live at right now. So I don't want to put her on blast. So I have no idea if she shared that one. I might be the only one sharing that one.
You should DM her name to us so we can track her down.
Oh man, maybe just for fun. I know who it is, but I don't know. She might be fun to talk to, right? Don't embarrass her.
Yeah.
It was too much for me to process at that time when I was only like 13. So I was like, I shut down for a second, and I didn't want to get mad at her. So I just went back to playing World of Warcraft. I think I was playing at the time. I was a little nerd, and I was just like, you know what? Like halfway through playing the game, I was like, I don't think I can talk to you anymore. I gotta focus on playing the game now. I gotta take a break from dating for a little while.
I think I'm out of here, bro. I think I'm out of here, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
just
think
figured
this
that
is
was a pretty
working
good
out.
cringe, a cringe story to start your.
I mean-
yeah.
And that's just that's just a spooky story. Like Jesus, bro. I'm sorry that like were her and her cousin like the same age?
I
Or is this
didn't
like
ask any details like that. I kind of just was like, ugh.
well, I mean that's I don't know, man. Like
No, see, the only reason, the only part that made me glad about it, actually, that guy in the chat's asking, the only part that made me glad about it was the fact that she said his dick was smaller than your finger, and I was like, wow.
Jeez.
It was like a compliment. It was like the weirdest backhanded compliment I think I've ever gotten.
wait a minute, wait a minute,
You know what I'm saying?
wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute, bro.
Yeah,
So how old was this girl?
probably 12 or 13, same age as me.
Uh-oh. Sir, do you remember what Lena Dunham did to her sister?
Oh dear.